Hello YouTubers, we are enjoying blackberries and RC crawling. Here in North Carolina, it's about 75 degrees. Once again, we've got a nice breeze blowing up in the trees here, and it is just a beautiful day for crawling. So I think my C10 is finalized. I think I'm done spending money on it, and I'm completely happy with the way this runs. I don't think I can improve on this perfect little truck. It just runs and crawls amazingly. I'm so happy with it. So I'm going to show you kids the Fury Car app that comes with the Iguana Pro and the Lizard Pro. And it's got 4 menus. This is the first menu. This menu shows you live action. When I hit the throttle, I'll hit the throttle. You see the number go up. It tells me what's happening in real time. I just tipped my truck. Here's the second menu. It's the running menu. And it's got some bells and whistles that are pretty cool. The different modes, I'll show you what the different modes are. You have forward with brake, forward reverse with brake, forward reverse. I just keep it in forward reverse. Now I played with the other modes a little bit, but I didn't really notice any differences. Anyways, apparently LiPo batteries do not like to be drained completely. So this is a voltage cutoff you can set. It's got, different settings. And that cuts the vehicle off before the battery drains completely. Unfortunately, the instructions that come with this are horrible. They don't really explain anything. So I'm guessing at what this stuff does, and did a little research on Google, and there's a couple RC professionals that have posted the meanings of some of this stuff. So like startup power, I'm not really sure what that does. I'm assuming it's how hard it hits when you pull the trigger. Obviously the rotation of the motor. These percentages are the percent of power. So I have mine set max forward, 98% power. Max reverse, I like to keep it a little lower so that the reverse is not so jerky. I believe this app only controls forward direction, and I think reverse just seems to be standardized, and there's really no way to adjust reverse on this app other than how much percentage you can give it. We have max brake and drag brake. Drag brake, I'm not really sure. I think it has to do with descending down a hill, and it actually applies like a little bit of reverse to the motor to help. I don't know. Power FOC, I believe, is a kind of governor, and it's like when you're crawling, and if the motor receives a load, instead of stalling, it actually gives it a little goose, kind of like a governor on a tractor. Although 30 is the highest number, so I don't know if that's 30%. I don't understand how that works. On the third menu, we have a calibration. I don't know how that works either. I've tried to use it, and my truck just took off all by itself and ran in reverse off the table, and I bent the rear bumper hanger thingy. Anyways, after that lesson, I don't mess with calibration no more, so I don't ever touch that. Neutral forward, and I believe that has to do with like when you're going forward and you go to reverse real fast, it's how quick that change between forward and reverse happens. And I just set it for super wide, and that gives me a little interval of space between forward and reverse. Punch, that has to do with the throttle. When you first hit the throttle, how hard it hits. I like it soft. I don't like a hard punch, so I keep it at 1. Now we have neutral brake. So here again, I don't know what that's about. We were on the menu with max brake and drag brake, and now we have neutral brake. So I don't know what that is. Again, the instructions don't say diddly. And low speed. I don't know what that means either. This is my favorite menu. It's the throttle curve. And these little dots, you can move them around and draw your own throttle curve. I love this menu. This is the best feature about the Fury car and the Iguana setup. So this is a percent of power is the elevation, and then the horizontal is how far your throttle is, the physical location. And so On my truck, the wheels just start turning at about 42% power. Nothing happens. So I've got a really sharp elevation because it's useless and I want to get it over with. So when I pull the trigger, I'm starting at right around 44%. And then this is all crawl range. And then if I need some high speed, like usually from going from trailhead to trailhead or something, I have my high speed right at the very end of the throttle. But I really wanted to take advantage of all this crawling range. This is all good speed. And it makes my trigger not so jerky. So if my finger moves a little bit, you know, this elevation moves very little, so my truck doesn't jerk all over the place, which is the case when you get these stock. So, you know, the motor is really jerky on these out of the box. Yeah, probably lose it here. Chop that part out. So just a quick recap on this truck. Let's see, I got the Iguana Pro ESC, and I have the Chameleon motor, and I got a copper plate in the frame. It's just super glued in the frame. It's got holes in it. It's 1/4 inch thick copper plate, and that gives it weight over the back axle. Weight in the frame. I chose weight in the frame, not weight in the axle, because I want a realistic truck. 5/16 stainless steel dowel for a front bumper, and the weight is awesome. So I just want to point out something really quick about the Iguana Pro. The Iguana Pro is for brushed motors only. And so apparently if you want to do a brushless motor, you want to go with the Lizard Pro. And the Lizard Pro, from what I understand, is basically the same technology. They both use the same app on your phone. And it's just that the Lizard Pro will do brushed motors and brushless motors. And I didn't realize that when I bought the Iguana Pro. So the Iguana Pro does brushed motors only. Now, you also got to make sure it comes with the Bluetooth. There are Iguana Pros and Lizard Pros that don't have Bluetooth. So make sure it has the Bluetooth if you want to use the app on your phone to set your adjustments and throttle control and have all the bells and whistles. I've been doing the Emax servos. I've been totally happy with them. Now I burn up a couple servos, and I burn them up pretty quick because I didn't know about end play and about adjusting the end play on servos. So if you're a newbie to this, Google end play on your servos and understand what that's about, because if you don't do it right, you will burn up your servos. Originally I meant for this truck to be more of a trail truck. I didn't plan on it being a rock crawler. It just sort of happened. I come out here on the weekends. It's a piece of property up here in North Carolina, and we have a camper up here. And it just so happens, you know, there's a big old rock pile from all the farming that was done years ago. Some farmer just put all the rocks here in a big pile. And so here I come along and I rearrange it to make a crawler course. It's been a lot of fun. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I enjoyed making it. Like I said, it's a beautiful day up here in North Carolina, and I am just having a hoot of a time drinking a beer and running RC trucks. So you have a great weekend. Adios.